Hello, lovely people. I'm Debs. Welcome back to my channel, Raina Read Stuff. I'm here in the book shack. I am going to do a tag on a Tuesday for the third week running, I wish to point out. I'm getting better at these. This week, I am going to do the Big 60 book tag, celebrating 60 years of reading. Now, this was created by Suey from Suey's Book Banter, who is celebrating her 60th birthday last month. I thought I'd better do it before she turned 61. And also, I celebrated my 60th birthday in October. So it seems like a good one to do. I was tagged by my lovely friend Pat at Book Chat with Pat. There are 6 prompts. Suey said, I've decided instead of dreading the big birthday I have coming up this month, I'll celebrate it with a series of bookish videos on the channel. Up first is this original tag, the Big 60 book tag, to celebrate 60 years of the love of reading. I hope you'll all join with me in doing this tag. So, question number 1. What is a comfort read that you will never outgrow? For me, that's Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. I love Winnie the Pooh. I read Winnie the Pooh when I was a kid. In fact, it was read to me when I was a kid, and then I read it. I read it to my children. They are reading it to their children. It's a family favourite and will be so forever, I think. Question number 2. What is a book that was published in the decade you were born? I can do better than that. I can do a book that was published in the year I was born, which was 1965, and it's this, The Warriors by Sol Ulrich. Now, for years and years, I absolutely loved the cult film. It remains one of my favourites. But this is the novel, and although it's different in places, do excuse me, I'm so sorry, it's still fabulous, and I love it. So, this is a big one. Oh no, it's the next one that's the big one. Right, number 3. What is a book you would rate 6 stars in a 5-star rating system? This is still on course to be my favourite book of this year, and it is The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, which I read earlier this year as part of the Summer of Steinbeck. Our official group read over 2 months was this, and then East of Eden. I very much enjoyed East of Eden, but this just blew my mind. And I read it alongside Steinbeck's work on, what was it called? There's all his factual notes that he took while he was going around refugee camps, and it's called The Gypsies of something. I'll list it below because it's completely gone. I read the 2 back to back, and they were brilliant, but this is just so good. One of the things I loved about it was it flitted, the chapters switched between a chapter on things that were happening in America at that time, and the story with our protagonists. It was just brilliant, and I loved it. Okay, this is the big one. What is a favourite book from your 6 most read genres? It took me a while to come up with my 6 most read genres, but I decided crime was probably a good one, and I've gone for this. This is Death of an Airman. It's by Christopher St. John Sprigg. It's part of my new and small so far collection of the British Library crime classics. And this one amazed me because it had such a great plot, and it had what must be, considering this book was originally published in 1934, it had what must be one of the earliest instances of drug running via plane between France and England. It also included murders, plot twists, and a really interesting cast of characters. Loved it, absolutely loved it. So that's the first one, that's crime. Bear in mind that when I say they're my favourite, it could change anytime, depending on the mood I wake up in, but this is them at the moment. Then I've gone for classics, and I've gone with Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, which I read for the first time this year. I think it was March on the Moors or something like that, and I absolutely loved it. It was so suspenseful, such a lot of atmosphere in here, and again, loved the characters. Or love to hate them, or whichever, but I thought that was great. Now we're going to science fiction, and this must have been my favourite for about 50 years, and that is John Wyndham's The Chrysalids. I haven't read very much modern science fiction. John Wyndham was always in our house as a kid, and this was easily my favourite of his books. Then I have gone for, I've got 4 fiction categories and 2 non-fiction. So I've gone for humour, and I don't think anyone who's been here before will be very surprised to see P.G. Wodehouse. This is The Code of the Woosters. I very much enjoy all of P.G. Wodehouse's characters. I particularly like Jeeves and Wooster. I particularly like this book, which involves a cow creamer, an 18th century cow creamer that Bertie's uncle really wants. And he's sent off to try and persuade the guy that it's a useless cow creamer and he ought to drop the price. In the meantime, somebody else buys it. And Aunt Dahlia decides that Bertie needs to get the cow creamer back or risk never being fed by her brilliant chef Anatole ever again. And, as is normal with a Jeeves and Wooster book, chaos ensues with much hilarity. Brilliant book. Next, I have gone for travel, and I have gone for this. Colin Thubron's Shadow of the Silk Road. Colin Thubron's one of my favourite travel writers, and this is an area of the world which, since I was very small, I have always wanted to explore and have never managed it. Exploring with Colin Thubron is second best, but pretty damn good. And it's just an excellent book, beautifully written. And it goes to all the places I want to see. And then finally, of the 6 categories, I've gone for history. And I've gone for this, A Woman of No Importance by Sonia Purnell. This is the absolutely incredible story of an American working for the British during the Second World War as an SOE operative in France. Her name was Virginia Hall. She was at one point top on Hitler's most wanted list because of what she was managing to achieve for the resistance. And it's one of those stories that you wouldn't believe it was true if it was written in as fiction. You'd say it was too outlandish, but it is true. And this woman, who had one leg because she'd blown her own foot off accidentally, ran rings around the Nazis during the Second World War. Incredible story. Right. Question number 5. What's a book you knew you would love even before you opened it? For that, what have I done here? There you go. For that, I've gone for this. Richard Osman, The Impossible Fortune. This is the latest release in the Thursday Murder Club series of books written by Richard Osman about 4 old people in an old people's home who form a club to solve cold case murders, and then end up solving more than cold case murders. It's funny, it's fast-paced, the characters are fabulous, and I knew I was going to like this because I'd absolutely loved the other 4. Last question. What is a book you would recommend to the next generation of readers? I know you've all seen this before if you've been on this channel. Sweet Bean Paste by Durian Sukagawa. I cannot stress enough how good this book is. But the other thing for the next generation of readers, it's a multi-generational book. So we have a man who is middle-aged and runs a bakery, backstreet bakery. He's not doing very well. He is persuaded to employ a very elderly lady who can make the best sweet bean paste in the entire world. And then another character is a teenage girl who comes in and uses the shop. And the 3 of them develop this wonderful friendship. And this book is just brilliant. It's a delight to read. It's very easy to read. It's not going to strain people. It's not going to make them think that they're reading something overly complicated. So for the next generation, I think this is a brilliant choice. I loved that tag. I thought it was great. Suey, I hope you had a wonderfully happy birthday. I know I've missed it, but I am at least before the next one. It's a brilliant tag. As usual, Suey and then Pat have tagged a huge number of people between them. So I'm just going to say, if you like this tag and you want to do it, give it a go. Make sure you tag Suey in it. And it's a lot of fun. It made me think about my reading. It made me think about genres. I wasn't quite sure what my 6 favourite genres were. I'm still not, actually, but those are the ones I've gone with. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you want to drop some answers to any of those questions in the comments below, I'd love to read them. And thanks for popping by. I will speak to you very soon. Bye for now.